So the next thing I'm going to do is listen to the front of the ribs, and we do that to listen to the kidneys. The kidneys are supposed to live back here, and we listen to the kidneys with, we listen for the motility of the kidneys. The motility, every organ in the body has some both mobility and motility. Mobility is the gross movement pattern of the organ. Motility is the subtle movement pattern that tells us how happy that organ is doing its job.
I hope very happy.
We want happy organs, right? And so the motility is actually reminiscent of the embryologic movement pattern of the organ.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool. So remember how all the organs kind of are like born and develop in different places, then they finally end up. And so, so that's what we're listening for. So like for the kidneys, for example, their embryologic movement pattern or motility is kind of like this. And they call it inspire, expire. And so it's kind of like a slow movement. And so when I put my hands on the front of the rib cage, that's what I should feel if the kidneys are happy doing their job. Okay. So I'm going to touch the front of the rib cage, and there it is. And they're moving pretty darn good. That's good. So there's a little bit of it feels almost like a click here. That's not directly related to the kidney. It feels indirectly related. And so I would go into this area because this is more like stomach, respiratory diaphragm region. So I would go in here and check that. So, because sometimes, you know, an organ can get kind of caught up on its neighbor. That's not ideal, but it happens sometimes. So we'll come in here. So remember that there are like 3 big holes or hiatuses in the respiratory diaphragm. One of them is for the esophagus that hooks up with the stomach, and that's kind of like where I am. The other hole is for the aorta, the blood that has oxygen in it. And then the other one is for the vena cava, which has the deoxygenated blood that's going back to the heart and lungs for oxygenation. And then there are a few other like small holes for things that go through the respiratory diaphragm. But here, there we go. That's perfect. That's very good. Okay, that's very good. And so now I'm gonna listen again on the rib cage. We'll see if that there we go. That's perfect. That's perfect.